ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another episode of The Cider Drinker, or should I say the Sidra Drinker, because you see I'm continuing my world tour of ciders tonight. And what cider, or should I say sidra, am I trying today? Why, it's Spain's other cider that you can get over here, which happens to be Mayador. This one is courtesy of Beers of Europe, and it's pretty much the only place that I've been able to actually get a hold of this particular cider. So, will Mayador be any good? We'll find out shortly, but before then, let's go and get the nitty-gritty on Mayador Spanish Sidra. Mayador Sidra comes in 330ml bottles, which I do believe is the only way you can get it too. The alcohol percent is 4.5% volume, so pretty standard strength to be honest. It says nowhere on the bottle if it's going to be sweet or dry, so I'll find out in the taste. And the price is about the same as the bottle of El Gaitero cost me, coming in at about £1.29 off of Beers of Europe. So that sounds pretty cheap, but will the taste match the price? Well, first impressions were I thought I'd honestly bought a pear cider because, well, it's just all green. I don't think it's anywhere near as eye-catching as the El Gaitero Sidra was, because that just really caught my eye just with like a good design and everything. This one just looks a little bit generic really. There's nothing outstanding about it, and unfortunately I don't have much information for you because literally on the back all it says is Spanish cider contains sulfites. So I'm, well, like most of the other ciders that I do on this review show, I'm going into this one completely and utterly blind. Now, is it going to be as fizzy as El Gaitero was? We'll find out right now because I'm getting the bottle open. There we go. Whoa. I thought it was going to be then because there's quite a lot of carbonation. So, let's get a whiff. Ooh, that actually does smell really dry. Ooh, that actually has kind of almost like a vintage cider sort of smell. You know, really dry, really tannic. You're getting crisp, robust apple scents. And overall, that actually smells really good. It smells really strong as well, even though it's only 4.5% ABV. That smells a lot stronger, so this will be interesting. As you can see, it only comes in a 330ml bottle. I don't know whether they do bigger bottles over in Spain, but these are the only sizes I can get over here in the good old UK. So let's go and get this half pint in here then. Oh yeah, there we go. That's there's a lot of froth. Can you see that? Hell of a lot of froth coming off it. Wow. Not as much as El Gaitero, but there we go. Mayador Sidra. And boy, it's having a right old party in that glass, isn't it? Pretty standard cider colour. A lot of carbonation, as you can see there. Right old shindig they're having in that glass. But, yeah, nothing out of the ordinary with that colour, just a nice old golden one, so looks pretty good. Let's go and get a whiff in the glass. You're still getting nice dry hits, but there's also a slight fruity apple scent as well now. The dryness has kind of subdued a little bit in the glass, and it's given way to more of these, you know, fruity, juicy sort of apple scents. Actually, this smells really good, so I'm hoping it actually tastes just as good. So, without further ado, let's go in for the taste test. Cheers guys, and here's to Mayador Spanish Sidra. Okay. Not what I was expecting in the taste. It's not dry at all on the taste. It's I think this is an artificial cider actually. I mean, I'd be very surprised if it was a real cider. Pretty much got an instant hit of you know, gumminess at the back of the throat, which would indicate that they've added sugars or sweeteners into this cider. But it, strangely enough, it did have a sort of a really fruity, tangy taste to it to begin with. Just get a second opinion. Yeah, it has got kind of almost like you've had, this is going to sound strange, like you've almost had a sherbet sweet. You're getting a sort of tingly feeling right at the back of your throat. As I said, like you've had a sherbet sweet of some sort. But yeah, it's definitely an artificial cider, because my mouth is pretty gummed up at the moment. Not really any aftertaste either. It's just kind of left my mouth feeling a bit meh, actually. After having that second sip, you can tell that they've added apple juice, like concentrated apple juice or something to it as well, because it has got a very artificial apple taste to it. Let's get another one. Although having said that, there is a very slight hint of dryness, just like right in the corner of the taste. You know, it's just there, as if, you know, as if it's saying, I'm trying to be something different, but unfortunately the artificial sweeteners and everything are stopping me from becoming a different cider altogether. Which is kind of disappointing, because there is potential with this sidra. You can tell that, you know, they're trying to make it not as artificially tasting, but unfortunately it seems that they've kind of failed a little bit with this one. Yeah, it has definitely left my throat feeling very gummy. I'll get another one. It's got quite a thick texture as well, which is kind of standard for like artificial industrial ciders. You get a really like thick, almost gelatinous consistency, which again will be all the artificial stuff that they've put into this. It's kind of disappointing, because as I've said, you know, the smells that were coming out of the bottle were brilliant. You know, like I said, it smelled just like a vintage cider. I thought, wow, this is going to be a really good tasting cider, but unfortunately it's okay. It's not a terrible tasting cider, but it's really nothing outstanding, unfortunately. So let's go and get a final taste before the final verdict. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this sidra doesn't last you too long. One, because it comes in a smaller bottle, and two, there is literally no aftertaste at all. So if you're going to enjoy the apple juice concentrate flavours that are in this glass, you're going to want to be drinking it fairly frequently. Otherwise, you're going to be left very unfulfilled, unfortunately. So, with that said, for a final verdict, I'm going to go and give Mayador Spanish Sidra a 4 out of 10. Out of the two, I would go and say get El Gaitero over Mayador. That had so many more flavours, and so, you know, it just had its own little character with the bottle and everything. And as I said, I found it on the store shelves, whereas with this one it was a little bit harder to come by. Sorry, belch. That was a big one, wasn't it? Not surprising with all the carbonation, excuse me. But yeah, this one is just, in a word, unremarkable. It's pretty much the same price as El Gaitero, but El Gaitero did so much better than Mayador in taste and just in overall quality, really. Don't get me wrong, it's not a terrible tasting cider, but you know, if you're one of these, you know, cider pros that wants to taste the best tasting ones, then probably give this one a miss. So, that was another episode of the Cider Drinker, or Sidra Drinker. Hope you liked it, and I will be back with another delicious and tasty cider soon. But until then, even though it's wholly unremarkable, it's still not a bad tasting sidra. So, I'm going to go and finish this half pint of Mayador sidra off. Take care, guys. Until next time.